Watching you use this thing is part of the highlight of my week.
Yeah?
Every week. Yeah. Absolutely. Makes me happy watching you use that.
Technology.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Good Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Tuesday afternoon. Well, I say fine. It started off shorts weather for me down here, and now it looks like it might rain a bit.
Yeah.
I came in shorts, sunglasses. It was quite nice.
See, I would have worn shorts today, but you're always like, when it's nice as weather, you ride your bike in, and then you're in like jeans, and then so if I'm in shorts, you've got the aircon up really high, and I'm freezing my tits off.
Yeah, but today I'm in shorts
Yeah.
because I didn't bring the bike in today because the car went in for a service.
So now it's not as cool, and I'm sweating.
The car went in for a service today, chat, which I've been quoted the cost of it already. It's not the worst in the world ever, but it's not as cheap as I'd like it to be.
Yeah. Did you do what I do? Did you drive shit cars?
£425 for a service.
Really?
Yeah. But
yeah, 20 quid down the road.
They gave me a that kind of service. Eh? Yeah. They gave me a courtesy car, which now I want one, and I can't afford one. I probably won't be able to for the next 20 years, minimum. They gave me a newish, I think it's basically new, Land Rover Defender 110.
Yeah.
I really want one now, but it's fucking too big. It's like literally like a boat. So if it rains, we'll be okay. Anywho, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Tuesday afternoon. Like I said, if you haven't already, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit like if you enjoy the content, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. Alternatively, if you would be notified, you can be in Discord. You can be a member of the Great Hall Discord server. You can react to the 40k reaction roll thing that's in Discord. I need to remove the Game Squad one because we're not really doing that anymore, although I really want to play Warzone again after what... Anyway, by the by, if you do that, if you're a member and you react to that reaction roll, then every time we schedule a stream, go live or post a new video, that will let you know as well. It's significantly more effective than the YouTube way of letting you know, so make sure you hit that reaction roll thing in Discord. We use a reaction roll rather than an everyone tag because people get pissed off for being everyone tagged 3 times, 4 times a day, which for example on a Tuesday where we go live twice and we schedule twice, you would be tagged 4 times just to know about content. So we don't force everyone to take those tags, right? But you could become a member all by yourself to get yourself in Discord and do that, or you can be gifted memberships like the amazing Evan Tomino.
You gifted one.
You gifted one, thank you so much. But if I want to get myself a Land Rover Defender, I think I need about 1,000 gifted today alone.
Yeah. Surely you want like a 20-year-old disco.
So, I mean, I'd like an original Defender.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like rickety old, I want one of those, really. I'd love one of those.
It's like the downside, they only drive like 30 miles an hour.
But I feel like they're probably really expensive now because they're kind of like borderline a collector's item now. So, hey everybody, did I not change the name? Does it still say no Joe Show? I don't remember I didn't remember if I changed the name of the stream. We have a Joe today. He's back from looking after his child. And we're back from UK Games Expo.
Yeah, Captain Manor says, so I did get to meet Joe at UKGE.
Yeah.
But you saw him, didn't you?
I saw him out in the smoking area as we were on the sheep
Didn't
walking out.
Didn't he have a baby with him?
No.
Did he have a baby with him?
No.
Who were they? Why did you have a baby with you? Someone had a baby.
Yeah, I saw him out in the smoking area. I was like, no, fuck him. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, Ben. We were, at that point, I think we were well and truly done in, weren't we? On a Friday, coming home. And considering the topic for today, which is faction focuses for Age of Sigmar 4th edition, which Joe and I are both incredibly excited about, I feel like them not being at UK Games Expo, as we spoke about on Friday, because I streamed after you left my house, I feel like them not being there to showcase this off was a real mistake, like a genuine real mistake.
I think it was a terrible decision on their behalf.
So I really genuinely believe that GW should have been there, and that it was a perfect opportunity to showcase 4th edition Age of Sigmar. A few people said to me, well, they don't want to have a big shop because everyone else is selling Warhammer cheaper. Don't put a shop up. Put a Forge World shop up that no one else can buy.
If you think, right, there was that massive walled off bring and buy sale, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Which I don't see the point in having it all walled off. This is kind of like the Games Workshop AoS day. Like, why would you wall off this massive bring and buy sale, right? When you're like, because you'd be walking past, you'd be like, I like that. I'll go in there and buy it.
Yeah.
But they didn't have that. That whole section could have been completely removed, and Games Workshop could be in on its own, away from everyone.
Yeah.
And they don't have to bring models to sell because there was Element, Wayland, Entoyment, and then half a dozen like little shops all selling Warhammer. Games Workshop doesn't have to bring a stall to sell stuff because everyone's already selling.
No,
their
exactly. Stuff. Ultimately, they just. I feel like they should have had a presence to show off AoS 4.
Yeah,
that's what I think. So that's a mistake, I think. But we've got some more faction focuses today. Now, last week on Tuesday, we went through the faction focuses for Stormcast and Skaven because Joe wasn't here. We did it in the office back at home because you were skiving for the day. You left me.
I did.
Last minute as well, we put it on the calendar, so I had to emergency get Vince
What do you mean
in.
last minute?
Like a week and a half in advance.
I'm pretty sure I told you.
Do you want me to pull up the text message?
No.
No, I didn't think you would.
I think I told you. Like, I booked a week off in August, and I told him about this like a month ago. And I put it in.
No, that one you did tell me about.
And I put it in there, and you deleted it.
Because the schedule wasn't built then.
Yeah, but
you just put 2 random squares in the middle of a spreadsheet.
Yeah, in the exact spot where the dates would have been. If you'd left those red stuff, it would have been in the perfect position. I mapped it out on all the lines.
Well, that doesn't work because I copy and paste the month.
Yeah.
So it would have gone anyway.
Silly.
Hey ho. So we're going to cover the Gloomspite Gitz and the Nighthaunt at the very least today, is the hope anyway. And these are articles that are on the GW website, so you can go find them yourself if you want to. We're going to read through it, talk about it, see what we think about it. We are coming from, if you are unaware, if you're new here, we are coming from a 40k background. Both Joe and I are 40k players. Joe's played a little bit of Old World in this new edition. I haven't. We've both played a smattering of 3rd edition Age of Sigmar. We don't really fully know all the army rules and faction rules. So what we're going to do is probably do a lot of comparison with 40k rules and, oh, that's like this or that's like that, which is kind of, I think, interesting for our audience who are also AoS curious and are converting. If you want to say something, if you want to get your message heard, there's a number of things you can do, obviously, to support us. One of those is the big colourful super chats that you can do. If you press the little dollar sign in the right-hand corner of the chat box, you can super chat. A big colourful message comes through. Joe has the monetised things in front of him. So if someone super chats, we will, I promise you, at some point read it out and discuss your point or talk about your point. Equally, you can become a member, like I said, or you can gift memberships, and we'll say a big thank you to our gifters, who are some of our most important people. Last month ended, 86% of our revenue last month was gifted memberships.
Yeah.
Was memberships. Of that, somewhere in the region, I think about 74% was gifted memberships. That's a huge portion of channel revenue. It's what's allowing us to look at AoS 4 and bring in new armies. It's what allows us to have the studio and these nice cameras. It's what allows us to pay to bring guests in, like Peachy. I've had Guy from Midwinter Minis confirm that he'll come. Dave from Mini Wargaming on Friday confirmed that he'll come. One of the guys from Mini Wargaming. Dave from Mini Wargaming has confirmed he'll come. Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics has confirmed he'll come. Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming has said he'll come. So it's because of you people and the support you give us is why we can do all these things. There's things like sagas, and we can pay to bring people down into the studio, entertain them, and film some content with them. So big shout out to you wonderful human beings for looking after us. You're heroes and we love you, and thank you so much. And thank you, Crumpets Panda has gifted to Troy Legion, Jan, Isaac, and Ichan. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted.
Ichan?
I don't know why I said it like that. Okay, some crazy infidel. There's another one as well that's a single gift.
Xylate, so a gifted one. Thank you. Thank you, Taby. Says, think of the hype they would have if Games Workshop was there and took early pre-orders for AoS.
100%, absolutely think
they could have
move.
Because the thing is, part of that hall that the Bring a Buy sale was in was also the tournament hall, right?
Which was massive, and there was no really anyone playing. But then we were there on a Friday.
We were there on a Friday. So if you think, right, Games Workshop could have ran a 1,000-point tournament of AoS over a portion of that, and when people weren't playing, they could go to the Games Workshop section, have a look at AoS 4, talk to the staff. They could have some recruitment people there. They could have done something incredible. They could have all the Warhammer cosplayers could have hung out there. You know, it could have been a place where instead of having a bunch of 40k content creators like standing in an empty room for like half a day, they could have all gone and stood over there, where all the fans would have been.
Well, I mean, I've already spoke last night at the end of last night's stream as well. Tomorrow's Warhammer show topic is Warhammer influencers, the worst influencers. My answer is yes, but we'll talk about it tomorrow.
We are 40k content.
Yeah, we are. But what we don't do is go to something like UK Games Expo or Horus Heresy event and just take 25 million selfies of all the other creators and post them up there, and then no one actually knows what happened at the event at all. I mean, granted, we took no photos at UK Games Expo, but at least it wasn't just my fucking face.
I
plastered
follow
everywhere.
a couple Instagrammers
I know
of
you
content creation
Oh, yeah?
that were there.
Oh,
And they were showing off
okay.
the event.
Are they Warhammer creators?
Yeah. But they're more like just painting stuff. But they were there showing all the models and the stuff.
Okay.
I think it's once you get to a certain size that you stop caring about the hobby and more about yourself.
I
I'm
don't
not
think
throw
that's
shade at
true. I
everyone.
don't think that's true, Joe. There's tiny little creators that are just about, I'll get a selfie with Dave from Mini Wargaming because that might get me some more followers.
Yeah.
And it's and then it becomes this mission to just generate more followers rather than inform your audience or show people what was there or tell people what it was about.
Well, there was one who was walking around on the Saturday. I was really quiet. I was like, did you get in early access on a Saturday? Were you there?
It was fucking rambling.
First in Friday was mad. Although Sunday looked a bit more quiet, but apparently they all start packing up at 4.
Pack up early on Sundays. Anyway, we spoke about it on Friday. If you want to check out my thoughts on UK Games Expo, you can hang out. You can go and check out the stream from Friday evening at 8:30 it was on Friday. No, it wasn't. It was later. It was 9:30 because we got in at 20 past. You fucked off and I streamed at 9:30. So yeah, that's on the channel if you want to go check out my thoughts on UK Games Expo. Anyway, if you get to go next year, it's an incredible event. I'm actually contemplating next year going Friday, Saturday, spending the Friday doing the expo and looking at all the stalls and stuff. And then the Saturday there to meet people without taking a million selfies of me with other people and posting on Instagram because that's fucking bullshit. Anyway. Today, Joe. You've got some
Crumpets Panda's got one more. It says, I know we aren't getting to it today, but Fire Slayers look like what Custodes should have been. What if there's time?
We'll see how many we get through. I don't know how far through the Fire Slayers are. However, we do have that one. Boop. We do have the Age of Sigmar article, or the Age of Sigmar section of the Warcom page up ready for us to read through. And we start off with the Gloomspite Gitz.
Great model range.
This is a faction that I bought a lot of before, and then because the models, I love them. And I'm not an Orcs fan, as you know, in 40k, but the models, I love them. And then I ended up swapping them for a bunch of, I want to say, Idoneth stuff. And that was only simply because I read some Idoneth lore and I really wanted to build Idoneth. This is a long time ago, though. I think this was towards the start, if not maybe even before 3rd edition of Age of Sigmar. So I'm talking quite a while ago. But the Gloomspite range is glorious. So this was posted on the 23rd of May, so a couple of weeks ago now. Faction Focus Gloomspite Gitz. We've waited to do the faction focuses in the hope that it means that we get a few of them up on the website and then Joe and I can go through them because they're not posting them every single day and I don't want to catch up and then be sat going, we want to talk about it again, whee! Anyway, under the light of the bad moon. So we're going to read through the article and when there's something interesting comes up, chat, we'll stop and talk about it, right? Like I said, if you want to interrupt us, big super chats or gifted memberships, gifted membership will always stop and say thank you immediately because of the reasons we've already covered. In comparison with the gleaming warriors and vile monsters we've already seen, you might be forgiven for scoffing at the notion of the Gloomspite Gitz, a ragtag coalition of cowardly grots, barely sentient fungus and lumbering troggoths. But that would be unwise, for this unruly gaggle of dwellers in the dank are a force to be reckoned with. While the squigs and troggoths cause untold havoc from the front, the cunning, vindictive grots weave cruel plans to ensure the downfall of their foes. Lots of narrative nonsense, basically. Untied under the ghastly pall of the bad move, a malevolent planetoid that moves almost at random through the void, spreading destructive magic across the mortal realms. The Gloomspite Gitz battle in great hollowing hordes. They are supported by the denizens of the underworld, troglodyte monsters that crawl, bound, and lumber out of the depths. Okay, just some narrative spin. I actually kind of like the Gloomspite narrative.
I love it. What I find, if you scroll up a bit to that picture, why don't Games Workshop sell mushrooms? I mean, big mushroom terrain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if you want big mushrooms, you got to 3D print them, or
I was going to say, Joe, the plastic's already a drug as it is. You don't need to start selling
or
mushrooms.
you've got to go to a garden centre.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like more mushroom terrain is needed.
Okay. Joe's day at UK Games Expo was, oh, look at that terrain. Oh, look at that terrain. Oh, look at that terrain.
Oh, there's so much beautiful terrain out there.
Each grot possesses a well of cruelty that belies their diminutive stature and fills a void where honour, compassion, manners or hygiene are missing. It's a little bit like you, Joe. In mass groups, their cowardice is outweighed by their viciousness and the easily shaken belief that they won't be the one to personally take that arrow or sword to the face. When the bad moon's erratic orbit passes close to a realm, it bathes the land in sickly light. inducing a mania that those who dwell in dark caverns and dark grottos. This feather is known as the Gloomspite, a delirium which brings the grots together in a shrieking mass, a huge mob of mushroom-addled destruction. It's more narrative, Gumph. They are joined by other horrors from the depths, giant skittering arachnoids, I quite like the arachnoid stuff, although it's old model range nowadays, that tear holes through reality, lumbering rock-skinned trogoths, and the ceaselessly bounding and gnashing balls of teeth known as squigs. They spill onto the surface in an effort to usher in the Everdank, a gloomy and moist utopia in which grot kind has supremacy. Do you think
Sounds like Carl's bedroom.
Yeah, a little bit. The Gloomspite Gitz may have schemes in abundance, but when they wage war, they are driven by little other than a primitive urge to ruck. Their animosity knows no bounds, and as long as they're giving the big uns their comeuppance, a grot will stay there screaming for a moment at least. Okay, cool. More narrative nonsense. Right, good, perfect. The origins of the Bad Moon are unknown, but its hordes of madcap devotees are sure to follow the Bad Moon's orbit, basking in its sickening aura and reaping the benefits. As the celestial body crisscrosses the realms, those under the light of the Bad Moon become more powerful in their own special way. This used to be something that you would track across the battlefield, if I remember rightly. I don't know if it's still the same. Let's find out. Gloomspite Gitz armies can use the following abilities. So we've, oh my fucking god. I mean, at least they've never said simplified, not simple, right? Passive is a thing that happens the whole time, and then once per battle round, at the start of the battle round, is another thing that you can do, okay? So the passive, under the light of the Bad Moon effect. During the battle, an area of the battlefield will be the Bad Moon's location. See the Bad Moon's orbit. The Bad Moon's location will be either a quarter of the battlefield or the centre of the battlefield. While the Bad Moon's location is a quarter of the battlefield, all Gloomspite Gitz units, friendly and enemy, wholly within that quarter, are under the light of the Bad Moon. So similar to what I just said, it doesn't necessarily track this time.
Yeah, it used to be your deployment zone, no man's land, opponent's deployment zone. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Or it used to be one half of the table, other half of the table.
I don't know, if I'm honest with you. While the Bad Moon's location is the centre of the battlefield, all Gloomspite Gitz units, friendly and enemy, on the battlefield are under the light of the Bad Moon. While a friendly Gloomspite Gitz unit is under the light of the Bad Moon, the appropriate effect below applies to it. If the unit is a non-squig Moonclaw unit, add 3 to its control score. If the unit is a squig unit, you can re-roll the random characteristic roll for its move characteristic. Already sounds amazing. Yeah. If the unit is a Trogoth unit, add 1 to save rolls for it. If the unit is a Spider Fang unit, its combat attack score critical hits on unmodified hit rolls of a 5. Right, corner to corner. Yeah, you're right, Rolf. I think it was. I'm not sure. Can't remember for definite though. So that was what happens if you're under the Bad Moon's orbit. The Bad Moon's orbit is something that you do at the start of the battle round. Declare, you must use this ability at the start of the battle round. If multiple players are commanding a Gloomspite Gitz army, then instead, at the start of the battle round, those players roll off, and only the winner declares and uses this ability this battle round. If it is the first battle round, pick a quarter of the battlefield to be Bad Moon's starting location. If it is the second or subsequent battle round, roll a dice. On a 1 to 3, the Bad Moon stays in its current location. On a 4+, the Bad Moon moves. The first time the Bad Moon moves, it moves to the centre of the battlefield. The second time it moves to the quarter diagonally opposite the quarter in which it started. The third time it moves off the battlefield and has no further effect on the battle. So it still tracks diagonally, but I guess it's a simpler way of working that out. It's quarter, centre, quarter, off.
But if it's in the centre of the battlefield, does that mean it affects the whole battlefield?
Yes. It says here, while the Bad Moon's location is the centre of the battlefield, all Gloomspite Gitz units on the battlefield are under the light of the Bad Moon.
Tight.
So what you could do, you could be lucky enough that in the first battle round you put it in the bottom left-hand corner, right? It might be that the second battle round it moves in a 4+, and you move it to the centre of the battlefield. It might be that on battle round 2, 3, and 4, you roll a 1 to a 3, and it doesn't move, it just stays in the centre of the battlefield, and your whole army gets all those benefits.
Tight.
Also could mean that battle round 3, it fucks off again and goes to the other corner.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's quite a cool mechanic, actually. I'm quite a fan of it. I like it. Grots are emboldened on objectives. Squigs boing faster and higher. Trogoth hides thicken, and spider venom increases in potency. Battle formations. Few beasts are as destructive as squigs, which are little more than big mouths filled with fangs and an appetite to match. Are you a squig?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
From tiny ones to... I got told off for bullying you the other day, so I should be nicer.
What are you saying?
Someone just said that I was bullying you and I was gaslighting constantly.
I mean, you do that.
Yeah.
I've got used to it.
From tiny ones to huge ones, they are constant companions to the Gloomspite Gitz to the extent that you can play as a Squiggle-Launch. Yeah, I love that model, by the way.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's cool as shit. Squiggle-Launch, passive, bouncing fury effect. Each time a friendly Swig unit charges, add one to the attack's characteristics of its fang-filled gobs, massive fang-filled gobs, or huge fang-filled gobs for the rest of the turn. Really original with all the names there.
I know, but you can see the scaling.
Yeah. This is an unstoppable swarm of bouncing red brutes whose momentum generates extra attacks on the charge. Other battle formations allow for swarms of Spiderfang riders, tough herds of Troggoths, and a teeming legion of mad grots. Arcana and incantations. Gloomspite Gitz shamans generally invoke the power of Gorkamorka to smash their foes, but they're natural-born schemers too. Sneaky distraction is the favoured cantrip of those who channel the lore of the Clammy Dank. There's a lot of dank going on.
Clammy.
Clammy Dank, I think, is the name of one of the ladies that gets outside this building on an evening time.
Yeah, or it should be the name of a strip club.
Yeah, Clammy Dank should be the name of a strip, 100%. The lore of the Clammy Dank. So it's got a casting value of 7. Pick a friendly Gloomspite Gitz wizard to cast a spell, and then make a casting roll of 2d6. So at the start of your next turn, subtract 1 from hit rolls made for attacks made by enemy units while they are wholly within 12 inches of the caster. That's a good aura, actually.
Yeah.
Everyone within 12 inches -1 to hit.
Yeah.
Decent.
It does mean that he has to be in danger.
It also has the unlimited keyword, which
So
means you can cast it multiple times in the same turn.
Oh, so you can have multiple casters all
Multiple casters, yeah. This unsightly display of screaming, shimmying, and magical sparkling is the perfect diversion and subtracts 1 from hit rolls of attacks made by enemy units while they're wholly within 12 inches of the caster. Useful when scraps of armour and hooded robes only confer a 5+ or 6+ save.
Yeah.
Unit focus. Few grots can hold a candle to Skagrot, the Loom King, so called because after waking from a particularly vivid dream of the Bad Moon, he found himself wearing a fungal crown, with its roots worming their way into his brain.
Banging.
Banging. Adam Johnson, thank you for becoming a Skull Team member, you're a hero. So 5-inch move, 6+ save, health 6, control 2, cool. He's got the Moon on a stick, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, winning on 4s, which I think is decent for a grot, to be fair.
Yeah.
1 range, D3 damage. It's not a bad weapon, okay? He's got the Loon King's Entreaty. Once per battle, a reaction, you declared the Bad Moon's orbit ability. So you've moved it somewhere. You've put the orbit somewhere, right? You can choose whether the Bad Moon moves to the next location or stays in its current location instead of rolling the dice.
That's good.
This is super helpful when you get it in the middle of the board, right? And it covers the whole table. And you can go, I'm going to use this once per battle ability. I'm going to declare that the Bad Moon's orbit, but I'm not going to roll. I'm just going to keep it in the middle. My whole army still gets everything. Super helpful.
Tight.
Right?
Yeah.
Long-time stalker. I think the content's plenty worth my pennies. Came for Liam, stayed for Joe. As does most people, Adam, to be fair. As does most people. Loving the Moana reference. Chris got it. A diversion.
A diversion.
Yeah. Fangs of the Bad Moon, which is another psychic power, essentially. What we would call a psychic power or spell. A casting value of 7. Declare. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of the unit to be the target. Then make a casting roll of 2d6. Effect, roll a number of dice equal to the unmodified casting roll. For each 3+, inflict 1 mortal damage on the target. That's cool. Strong.
Very good, yeah.
If you roll a 12 dice on every 3+, you do mortal damage. I like it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've got reaction. You declared that redeploy command for a friendly Moon Clan unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit, which is where you get to move d6 inches when someone moves within range of you.
Yeah.
If you roll a 1 to 3 when determining the distance that this unit can move, you can use a value of 4 instead. So minimum redeploy of 4 inches is really strong.
That's strong.
Yeah, it's decent.
Like that.
No command point cost to this as well. So you use the redeploy for a CP, and then you just use this ability.
Yeah.
He's decent, actually, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not so bad. He's got a 4+ feel no pain
Yeah.
for his 6+ save.
Yep. And he can cast 2 powers.
He can cast 2 or cast 1 and try and dispel an endless spell or something like that, right? My phone keeps telling me I forgot to lock my vehicle. I'm like, no, they're working on it. I can't lock it whilst they're in it. That would be unfair. Good. By sifting through the prognostications of captured mages and seers, Skagrot is able to control or at the very least predict the course of the Bad Moon and is able to stay for a moment with the Loon King's entreaty. His signature spell, Fangs of the Bad Moon, causes it to vomit loon shards down on nearby enemies, and should this oral assault fail, he can always use his Babbling Wand to guarantee a swift 4-inch redeploy for his allies, or more likely himself. Any boss grot worth their bottles is sure to have at least one Gobapalooza under their command. What a great name. A cackling gang of loon priests and petty shamans.
I fucking love the Gobapalooza models.
That's because they employ the Gobapalooza know-what's in battle to great.
My favourite one is there's a grot inside a squig skeleton.
Is there?
Yeah, like running along with it. It's an incredible model.
It's getting cold. Need to keep drinking that. Okay, 5-inch move, save 6+, control 2, health 3. Staff, sticker, or jaggedy blade. 1 attack, hit on 4, wound on 4, rend 1, damage D3. The D3 damage isn't actually bad, all seriousness. Hallucinogen fungus. In the first battle round, this unit has a ward 4+. In the second battle round, it has a ward 5+. In the third and subsequent battle rounds, it has a ward 6+. That's all right. Not bad. It's cool. The Gobapalooza know-what's. Roll a dice. It's in your hero phase. On a 3+, pick one of the following effects. Gitz units within this unit's combat range, add 1 to run rolls and charge rolls for that unit until the start of your next turn. Pick a friendly Gloomspite Gitz unit within this unit's combat range, add 1 to rend characters that unit's weapons until the start of your next turn. Pick a visible unit within 12 inches of the unit until the start of your next turn. That unit cannot use commands. That one's pretty big for enemy units, actually.
Maya says, every single person in society can associate themselves with one of the Gobapaloozas. This is a non-negotiable of the world. It is true.
Wizard 1 infantry destruction glooms like this. I mean, that's a cool set of rules, actually.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
The models are incredible as well.
The Gloomspite Gitz stuff in general, the more recent stuff, is just beautiful. The Glareface dance implores allies to hotfoot it into battle. Nasty poisons help diminutive grots punch above their weight. And Boogle Eyes can be used to mesmerise foes and cause them to forget their basic martial training. Herding squigs is a dangerous job, but so long as the heavily armoured squig herder stays alive, they can easily lure more cave squigs into battle with the promise of fresh meat. D6+3, that's his random move for the squig herd, words. Fang-filled gobs, this is the first fang-filled, this is the smallest version.
Yeah.
Which is 3 attacks, hits on 4s, wounds on 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage.
They're companions.
Which means it's additional, you get to use those attacks as well.
Yeah.
So rather than picking one of the melee profiles, you can fight with the squig prodder and the companion weapons.
Yeah.
Okay. Passive effect. Each time a model in this unit is slain by a combat attack and that model was in close combat with the attacking unit, roll a dice on a 5+, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight ability has been resolved.
Squig's gone wild. That girl's gone wild.
It is, yeah. The unit has a maximum control score. The unit has a maximum control score of 1. Roll a dice for each squig herder in this unit. For each 2+, you can return D3 slain crave squigs to this unit. For each one squig herder in this unit is slain. So you can get squigs back, but your squig herder might also die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they are delicious.
These models.
Yeah.
Are fucking. That one is. They're great.
Yeah.
They're amazing, Jay. I love them. In the heat of battle, I might do Gloomspite Gitz one day. In the heat of battle, squigs gone wild may continue chomping after they're dead, inflicting mortal damage before succumbing. However, they have little in the way of battlefield acumen and can only have a maximum control score of 1. What I like about what we've seen so far with all of the faction focuses for AoS is it seems very narratively driven.
Yes.
And if you remember the day that we had with the AoS team, they made a big thing about how a lot of their rules-making decisions and rules writing were trying to be based off of the narrative and what would that unit fight like and how would it feel and how can we make that feel like it's supposed to feel on the tabletop.
Yeah, there wasn't a case of there isn't a case of like, oh, we're adding this in because the army needs it with no narrative background. It's like we're putting it in because that's what they would have.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job so far, but we've only seen 3. The Bad Moon is a capricious orb of lunacy. So resourceful grots might find lunestone meteorites that can carve them into a simulacra of their delirious deity, the Bad Moon Loon Shrine, which is a terrain piece. Yeah, it's a terrain piece, right? It's got 4 up save and 14 health. The passive, the effigy of the Bad Moon, friendly Gloomspite Gitz units are under the light of the Bad Moon while they are wholly within 12 inches of this terrain feature. That's decent.
That's very good.
That's very good, right? Because that's all game as long as this survives. There's a single CP ability to use at the end of your turn, once per turn. Pick a friendly non-hero, non-monster, non-war machine Gloomspite Gitz unit that has been destroyed to be the target. Set up a replacement unit with half the number of models from the target's unit rounding up, wholly within 12 inches of this terrain feature, and more than 3 inches from enemy units. So for a single CP every turn, you get half the size unit back.
Yeah, there's still a door in it, isn't there? So they're hiding underneath.
What a fucking cool piece of terrain, by the way.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. An effigy of the bad moon exudes 12-inch aura that confers lunar power, and as they generally situated atop Moon Clan layers, they can replenish destroyed units for the cost of a single command point. The word from the studio, Jimbo. Gloomspite Gitz are a vast horde of an army that can call upon a variety of different styles of unit to deal with any threat your opponent presents. If you need a lot of bodies, call forth the pointy mobs of Moon Clan Grats. If you need some tanky hard hitters to hold up the enemy, the Troggoths will lumber into position. Bouncing rapidly forward with fangs bared, Squigs are your aggressive cavalry option, just don't expect them to stick around too long, and if you want to capitalise on the natural cunning of Grots, you can get sneaky with some interesting movement shenanigans with the Arachnaroks and the Spider Riders. There's really something here for everyone, and you can mix and match or go all in on a specific archetype.
Before we do the spotlight, should we do these super chats?
Oh, you can do, yeah.
All right,
Is that the fucking... That's a decent spearhead,
it's
isn't it?
really fucking good.
That's a really cool spearhead.
It's like, financially... It is a bargain.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that costs separately, but...
You're probably looking at like 40 quid for the Troggoths, about 35-ish for 5 of the bouncing guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The character's going to be about 20 quid, and you're probably looking at about 35, 40 quid for the 20 Grots.
I just got a tea bag in my mouth.
Thank you, Sam Deacon. My local gaming store is doing an AoS 4th edition Spearhead, like learning the game, and because of you, I now want to participate. Never been interested before, and then there's little flying money.
Oh. I do not apologise. So I think you're making the right life choice.
Yeah, I think it's an incredible game, and more people should love it and appreciate it.
Nothing to do with the fact that we're planning to make content on it, and Joe really wants to keep making content on it.
Yes, because I think doing more games, although some people might not like it, I do think on the whole people will just like variety.
Yeah.
And the game is beautiful, the models are beautiful, and it means that we can do something different, you know?
Electman says the Squig Hoppers do come in boxes of 10, not 5, but it still says it's an excellent spearhead.
Oh, I thought they came in 5s.
I have no idea.
But screw me. Thank you, Simon Rees. He says, have to agree with the others that Spearhead has really gotten me interested in Sigma, so much better than Combat Patrol. Just bought the Gitz. Good. I think this game is going to be a really solid event game as well.
I think Spearhead, for me personally, even if we don't do content on it, which I think we're probably going to continue doing content on it, because one of the things I've always wanted to do with content is keep doing things that Joe and I think are fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like if we're having fun doing it, it will perform better than perhaps the latest hot shit fucking 40k codex, for example, for the sake of argument, right? And I always feel like if we're enjoying ourselves more, that content's going to be better overall. But I think if we stop doing content on Spearhead for whatever reason, and I don't think that's going to be a thing, but if we did, then I feel like for example, if we're doing AoS streams and we've only got 8 members, then I feel like what's going to happen at that point is Joe and I will actually probably continue to play it anyway, even though it's not on camera.
Yeah, I think because the rules are so much more finessed and better than Combat Patrol, right? There's going to be a lot more people that have got into AoS, have bought like a 2,000 point army, bought 3,000 points, play that regularly. They might go, I really want to do Gloomspite Gitz, but I can't afford to buy a whole army, but I really want to do it. I could pick this up, paint it to the best of my capabilities, and then I can go and do Spearhead events and still have loads of fun.
I agree.
Whereas you tend to see at events, you never see Combat Patrol, but you always see Kill Team.
Yeah.
And I think, so what you'll probably see is this will be
the Kill Team equivalent.
The Kill Team equivalent. Yeah.
There's definitely a couple of boxes out there of Spearhead where I genuinely believe I wouldn't want to build a whole army of it, but I absolutely could do a Spearhead. This is one of them. I haven't looked at the Spearhead box yet, the rules yet, but I genuinely think, would I want to do a giant army of squig? Well, the thing is, I reckon once I've got this book and box and painted it, it might be like, I just add a mangler squig.
You've got to think, right? You get this box set now at the start of AoS 4. Right, and you do it.
Exclamation mark element.
And you've never really got into AoS. You buy it, build it, paint it, play with it at your mate's house, in their kitchen, on the floor, whatever.
Friends, I've just got you.
I know.
I've just got you, Joe.
So me and you play this game a lot, and then you go, I'm really enjoying this AoS malarkey. I'm looking forward to when the Gloomspite Gitz book comes out. Then the book comes out, and they inevitably get a Spearhead box set.
A new one.
The Vanguard one will get replaced with a proper Spearhead one, right? So you go, cool, I'm going to buy that one. I enjoyed the last one. I get that one. You buy it, build it, you go, wow.
Half an army, yeah?
I've got half an army, 2/3 of an army. I might as
exactly.
well expand, and that's how they get you.
I think, yeah.
But as a business plan, fucking brilliant. But you go, cool, and then you might find that after about 6 months into a new edition, you've now got a full army. I think, yeah. Or you might have lots and lots of spearheads. I think it's the way to
But that's the way. And the thing is, what I've seen about Spearhead so far actually is that most of them that I've seen, and maybe I'm wrong here, there's a couple that I know currently exist that are like that, but most of them that I've seen are ones that are very easily repeatable. So for example, the current Stormcast one isn't the best because Indrasta is a named character. You don't want multiple Indrastas in your army.
No.
You don't. But there are a fair few out there that I think are easily repeatable as boxes. So if we look at this one, for example, the bouncing squigs, there's two kits you can build out of that box, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
This is a box you could buy twice, maybe even 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
And it's relevant for an army of Gloomspite Gitz. That's great value.
Yeah, you could buy 3 of these. You've got a great army. Then you buy yourself some Mangler squigs.
And a couple of the like maybe the Goblin Blues, a couple of
I'd be like the big Trogoth guy who's got like the shrine on his head.
Yeah.
And he's got great lore. So basically, he fell asleep. People didn't know he was there, so they built a magical shrine on his head.
You just stop talking.
And then he woke up, and then it gets really bad headaches all the time because the magic's giving him headaches.
Stop talking because you'll just make me want to collect Gloomspite Gitz.
Yeah, it's great.
And go bouncing across the table.
It's also that army is built for contrast.
I mean, yes. When I first bought it 4 or 5 years ago, contrast didn't exist.
Yeah.
So
you go those squigs. You got red contrast, pink contrast, bit of brown. Done.
yeah, I think Mr. The Warhips has done a tutorial in the past on these ones actually. Yeah. Squigs.
Yeah.
Cool. More or no?
Thank you, Elec Man.
No more new members yet, chat though. I'm just throwing that out there.
So I learned that you can't stack the same ability on one unit with multiple copies, so you don't have the concerns about Gobblepalooza I initially did. So yeah, only one unit can be buffed once.
Yeah, but what's the specific stacking that you were worried about, Letman? I'm interested. I guess it's with how many Gobblepaloozas can you take? Are they not unique?
No,
they're not unique.
So you can take infinite amount of Gobblepaloozas.
Yeah, and then add like 3. Pick a friendly Gloomspite Gitz unit within range of this combat range. Add one to the rend character that weapon and special weapons. I guess what he's saying there is
so you can't basically have 3 Gobblepaloozas and give a unit an
plus
additional
3 rend.
Plus 3 rend.
But where does it say you can't do that? I'm guessing it's in an article somewhere, but that would have been a concern for me too, but not massive concern. Okay, so anyway, Spearhead, Spotlight, Gloomspite Gitz. We've been looking at the Spearhead. This is the Bad Moon Mad Mob, right? Hey, Talk. Spearhead is the perfect game for the Gloomspite Gitz, who only stand chest high to a human. The Bad Moon Mad Mob is the platonic ideal of a ragtag Gloomspite Gitz force featuring a collection of grots, troggoths, and squigs, all working with a loon boss together under the light of the Bad Moon, which deigns to beam its delirious energies on both halves of the battlefield over the course of the game. I'm actually pretty convinced that half these fucking idiots writing these articles now are just using AI. Or fucking right clicks and on. Yes. Honestly. Bad Moon Mad Mob, right? Once per battle, start of the first battle round, under the light of the Bad Moon. Declare, pick a territory, either friendly territory or enemy territory, to be under the light of the Bad Moon. When do you do this? Once per battle at the start of the first battle round. Okay, cool. If both players can use this ability, the players roll off and the winner picks territory to be under the light of the Bad Moon. The territory pick remains under the light of the Bad Moon in the first and second battle rounds. In the third and fourth battle round, the other territory is under the light of the Bad Moon. Effect. While a friendly unit is wholly within the territory that is under the light of the Bad Moon, the appropriate effect below applies to it. Frothing Zealots. If the unit is a Moon Clan Stabbers unit, add 3 to its control score. Lunar Squigs. If the unit is a Squig Hoppers unit, no mortal damage is inflicted on it when it retreats. Moonlit Hide. If the unit is a Troggoth unit, add 1 to save rolls for it. That's decent.
Yeah.
We like it. We do like it. Both units of 10 Moon class Abbas have the all-important reinforcements keyword to provide bodies, so you get 40 essentially. When the ferocious and toothsome squig hoppers bound into the thick of combat, they're definitely here for a good time, if not for a long time. The plodding anchor of the force is the rock gut Troggoths, whose regeneration ability reliably heals wounds. Heal D3, start of any turn. Of any turn. So my turn, your turn.
Yeah.
I heal D3.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're gonna unless you kill a whole one, it's gonna be a nightmare to deal with, I think.
But if you've killed one, you can't then bring it back with heal D3.
No. Normally when you have models back, it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got 5 up ward save as well.
They've got a 10-inch rock that they could throw at you, where they hit on a 5, but wound you on a 2 with 2 rend and D3 damage, and their massive stone maul hits on 4s, because they're big, slow, cumbersome idiots, but they wound on 2s, rend 2, damage 3 is a big deal. Remembering, chat, for you 40k people, that damage in AoS spills over. So 3 damage is big, because if he swings that troll, if he swings that maul and he hits both times and he wounds both times, he can kill 6 infantry units if they're 1 wound models or 1 health models, right? Tomorrow we'll be getting ghoulish as we can can't. Yeah, okay. So
Ghouls.
So in terms of, I don't know what you're looking for. There's no members to thank. In terms of was it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, Nighthaunt. In terms of actual rules that I feel like fit the Gloomspite narrative, for me, that's good job. But I'd like to see what I often find with some of these faction focus is there's not much focus. Like, I feel like they don't give us enough information in total to really see how the army works together. And we haven't really seen enough of how far a mango squig moves or what their massive jaws are. We don't really know how the faction works in total.
No.
I like the fact they've given us the bad moon stuff, which is kind of like the whole army's mechanic. That's kind of cool. And it sounds good, at least. Yeah. But I wish these factions... The only thing I would say is, and this is so Warcom, it's so politician, they give us lots, whilst also giving us nothing. And I wish we'd seen a bit more. But from what I've seen so far, looks like it could be a fun faction to play with.
Yeah, they're one of those armies where you're not here to take the game seriously.
You reckon?
I think, obviously, there will be builds that are really good. Like, I know a lot of people that do it and they go, all Troggoths all the time, smash people's faces all the time. But I think the little squig units are just for fun, pure fun. And also, it's a great army to paint because it's just exciting, isn't it? It's just bright colours.
I think
silly models. I love it.
I think sometimes the size of some of the parts of the model I find a little bit more daunting because they're quite small in terms of detail. But if you let the contrast thing do its work, I reckon it won't be that bad. I think it could be a fun army to paint.
Yeah, I think like it's weird because I'd want to spray paint them black first because of the black cloaks kind of thing, or maybe black or maybe grey and then paint black. I'd find it difficult to use contrast on the cloaks.
That being said, I've used, I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be Black Templar contrast. I'm not sure. It might be.
It might be Black Legion.
Yeah, it might be Black Legion.
Josh raves about Black Legion all the time.
I think it might be Black Legion then because I used it on the Hormigant that I painted in that High Fleet colour scheme, which escapes me now. And I was unsure of it, and it was a beautiful paint to use. Yeah. So I actually feel like, because you don't really want to put like a single layer of Black Legion on a cloak, like for example, if it was the Lions, right? Because you see that it's contrast. But I feel like on the little robes of the Gloomspite, you actually might get away with it.
Yeah, there's lots of little folds and
stuff. Yeah, you
might
might get away with just putting a single layer of Black Legion on and off you go.
I watched a how to paint something the Games Workshop did.
Sam Deacon, thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you.
We've gone over 10. Not to forget, chat, that if we hit 150 members, we give away a free T-shirt.
Yeah.
Every single stream we hit 150 members, we give away a free T-shirt. Last month, we gave away 6 or 7 T-shirts.
Yeah. I was watching a how to paint by Games Workshop. By the guy on it showed his face and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like them.
Talks a lot. He talks a lot of bullshit. But he painted the models. And he was showing off the different colour schemes. And then afterwards, he dry brushed the model a bone colour, like terminite stone or something afterwards. Real light dry brush over the whole model. And it really took away a lot of what I don't like about contrast, because I always find that there's a bit of running and seepage. And
Mr. the Martin Wallace says Black Legion is an elite tier paint, and if he says that, I'm gonna listen to him.
elite tier.
Elite tier.
Well,
he knows more about painting than you and I combined.
Probably. You know? I am a massive fan of Apothecary White. I use that paint all the time.
Just Jupiter, thank you for the gifted, man. What a legend.
Thank you, Just Jupiter. That one and Jacaro or Griff Charger Orange or something.
Oh, Josh uses that a lot.
Yeah, and I use the Griff the orange one. I use it as like a poor man's weathering.
Oh, really?
I put it in recesses to make them look dirty.
Oh.
Like, so if I want my black, it works really nice on black armour. So if you've got your Space Marine joins, you put water down into all the joints, and it means you don't have to wash the whole model, but it just makes them look a bit more grimy.
Yeah.
It's great paint.
Okay. I believe you. Thank you so much for those extra gifted though, chat. You're amazing. Up to 14, so almost 10%
Wow.
to a t-shirt.
Thank you, Meat Squadron. It says, gonna be 110 degrees outside from here on out. Kill me. We won't kill you because you're a big gifter.
Yeah.
I love you.
We love your meat, Squadron.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping for a good summer this year. I love summer. You hate summer. I fucking love summer. We've got aircon now though, so it's not so bad because you can just come and work and then you can sit in a nice air-conditioned building.
That is true. And I've got
and your car air conditioning works again now, so you can just get in your car.
No. So the fans work. It's not putting exhaust. Griff Hound Orange.
Yeah.
And then the Griff Charger. The names. Okay, so Griff Hound. What having Griff in the names of both colours is super annoying.
Anyway,
the fans work. I'm not getting exhaust fumes into my car anymore.
Okay,
which is good.
that's a good thing, yeah.
The fans never stopped working. It was the contents of the air coming into my car.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I don't have aircon currently.
Why?
Because I need to get the thing changed in it.
The coolant.
Yeah,
It's like 20 quid or something.
it's probably more than that.
Yeah, I'm a qualified air conditioning engineer.
But when were you doing this?
I mean, okay, granted.
Was this when it was like
Between 2000
It was 4 tuppence a
No,
shilling.
between 2005 and 2015, somewhere in that 10-year window, I got
A
qualified.
lot has changed in the last 14 years.
It was never to get your air conditioning charged with coolant was never that expensive. It was only
never that expensive.
It was only expensive if you had a leak.
Yeah, but buying milk nowadays is more expensive.
Fair, okay, fair. Yeah, I'll give you that much at least, right? By the way, chat, if you want to, we do have a bunch. Mr. Sam said it already. We've got a bunch of grey names in chat, right? With the excitement of AoS 4 coming, if you membership gifters want to get sniping, pull more people into Discord. ! Discord. If you're not a member and you go in there, you'll see some threads, but you won't see loads of threads because it's locked behind our membership paywall.
Rob Paul says he never got on with contrast. 85% of his paints are Vallejo.
I love Vallejo.
I love Vallejo paints, but I only really use them for airbrushing.
No, I don't. I paint with them.
I use the silvers all the time.
The metallics, Vallejo metallics or Scale 75 metallics are glorious.
I like my entire Tyranid army is painted with Vallejo.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's really good. I want to try the new Army Painter. It's like their own version of contrast, basically.
Oh, okay.
They've got an entire new paint range. There's
Speed paints.
Speed paints, that's the one.
Yeah.
Medders, who John McArdle basically uses primarily as his
personal painter.
His personal painter, his commission painter. He kind of uses them all the time in all of his videos. So I want to see what they're about.
I want to try Mr. the Duncan's stuff.
I won't. I would. What I want to do is, I kind of feel like when you try out a new paint range,
Hey, Scooter.
you kind of want to do the whole army in that paint range to kind of get the feel of
What I want to do with Duncan's paints is I want to get the full range of Duncan's paints. So I want to take a model that I've painted with GW colours based off, say, for example, a battle tome, like the Stormcast that I was doing on stream a while ago.
Yeah.
I was using the Battletome paint scheme, and I was using all the GW paints it told me to use in that particular. So I don't have to worry about writing my paint scheme down anyway because I just go back to the Battletome and there it is. And what Duncan's done is he's geniusly produced a sheet where on the back of it gives you each of his colours and it gives you the army painter alternative or the Citadel alternative.
Yeah.
And what I'd really like to do is go in there, find all of the Duncan alternatives to the Citadel ones that are in the Battletome and paint another one side by side with the GW one and see if it looks literally exactly the same or if there is a difference in hue or saturation or whatever. 2 thin coats is good, but it's not worth the jump in price from the likes of Vallejo or AK. Interesting. Vallejo Model Air Chrome, I've got that. Also Elite Tier paint. Joe spotted about Apothecary White too. There you go. Martin said you're right about something painting. That now makes you an authority. Have we got any more? Any more for any more, Jay?
I'm just nodding along because I'm just being right for a change. Thank you, Kazarian. If you're familiar with 3E...
Third edition,
there's a lot of continuation into 4th edition with some tweaks to the way the rules manifest. Also, nice new trainer's bra.
I wore a hole through one of my last sets.
Yeah?
Yeah, the top.
You went in the top, that's where your feet go.
No, Jay, like around this area here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that from your motorbike?
Yeah, from the shift lever.
Yeah? Why don't you use the bottom of your foot?
Because that's not where the shift lever lives. You use the bottom of your foot to gear change down, but use the top of your foot to gear change up.
Oh. Should be wearing proper PPE.
I'm sure I should, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should be wearing PPE when I'm around you as well.
Yeah? Good. Violent attacks. Thank you, Just Jupiter, for the 1 gifted membership. I think you probably already read that one out. And thank you, Elec Man. Joe, you saying squigs are just for fun, but you were not there in 3rd edition. Squigs were the meta for Gitz in 3rd. They were cracked.
You weren't there, man.
You didn't experience it, man.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Elec Man, you're a hero.
I was told it was all about dragons in 3rd.
I love Dragon. Dragon me balls on your face. Whee!
I wish that we'd started more in 3rd.
I do as well, actually. I wish you'd have gone on about it a bit more. Like, really pushed for it.
I did.
I had no idea you wanted to play AoS for the whole of 3rd edition. You're like, no, 40k every time I mentioned it. No. 40K, no.
I invested, and you helped invest in my vampire army,
yeah,
which I was very excited for. I had a chaos army, and you were like, let's start it, let's do it. I fucking hate Warhammer 40k, it's so shit. And then we did it, and then
you can't just tell them what you were saying and then say it was me.
No, and then you do what you always do. Like 48 hours later, after you've bought an entire army, you're like, oh, I love 40k now. Space Marines are banging.
I've never said that. So you're definitely
going
to say
liar.
what you said. I've never said Space Marines are banging.
You're a phony.
He's a phony.
You were saying, oh, I love Dark Angels, I could really get into them. And then you could talk
that was in
about
10th edition, Joe.
And then you were saying that about Black Templars.
Siege did them.
You're fickle.
You're a liar.
Not a lion. Not a lion. Rude.
Now, this is an army I am excited for.
Ghosts.
I love Nighthaunt as a range. I wish there was more to it than there currently is.
I kind of want to do a bit of Nighthaunt, mainly so I can flush out more of my old world army and put them all around bases because they can take the ghosty ghoulies in. But also I listen to a lot of old world horror books, and they tend to be the baddies. I
reckon this will officially be the second army I attempt to paint for Age of Sigmar after Stormcast.
This army is a great airbrush army.
Yeah, I feel like it's built for airbrush or contrast, essentially.
Or contrast through an airbrush.
Yeah, it would be quite nice.
Which has changed my life, by the way.
The Spectral Host. I love the concept of Gloomspite. I just wish there was more of a model range than there currently is. But let's get to it. So we get to read the narrative spiel. Strap in for a narration with Liam, and hopefully all 204 of you throughout the narration will gift a single membership, getting us over our 150 target, and we'll give away a T-shirt.
I know narrative. I'm going for a wee.
Joe went first. There's a competition at the moment, chat, as to who's going to go first. Only because Joe and I have both drastically increased our water intake as part of our health drive, I don't know if you heard the big sigh there. I think Joe is already fed up of my health drive that I'm encouraging him to come along with, and he just keeps sighing at me. For many in the mortal realms, death is a cold and unknowable terror waiting for the moment it can cut their lives abruptly short. Those enlightened by the true nature of mortality know better, for even as the body rots, the spirit is freed to serve the undying king's every whim, and the wrathful geists of the guilty and sinful and the damned gather into his spectral vanguard, known as the Nighthaunt. They are warped wraiths moulded in the image of their mortal sins, for Nagash is a strong believer that punishments should fit the crimes he deems a soul to have committed. Big Bad Peter Gamer, thank you so much for the gifted. Go on ahead, thank you for the gifted. It helps that the many violent and traumatic ways one can die in the mortal realms produce particularly vicious phantoms for his armies, and they all share a bitter hatred for the living. Even now, as the deadly necroquake that saw Nighthaunt ravage the realms recedes into memory with the coming of the Vermin Doom, the howling spectres at Death's command still rise from Shaiish to drag mortals to their untimely fates. Those who fight back discover their corporeal weapons find no purchase against these ghostly forms, and even those lucky enough to fend off an attack learn the unforgiving truth. Death comes for everyone. Joseph Svensson, thank you for the gifted membership. You people are amazing. I love this range. I love it so much. Joe hiding monster and assistant. I haven't got him off of that yet, Adam. Geists have haunted the burial sites and sepulchres since before the Age of Chaos, but it wasn't until Nagash's dark ambitions, Skippy, thank you for the gifted, unleashed the Shaiish Nadir that the great, that's hard to do by the way, keep doing that whilst I'm also reading, that their great processions began to sweep across the realms on winds of deathly amethyst magic. In concentrating the magical energy of the realm of death in its centre, the great necromancer caused unchecked death magic to sweep across the other realms, and entire hosts of shades rose up to spread their master's dominion over the mortal world. Though the Nighthaunt attacked in discordant waves more akin to a force of nature than an invading army, the rise of two great leaders formed them into a unified fighting force with organisation, structure and purpose. Lady Olinda is the undoubted master of the Nighthaunt, bestowed the title of Mortarch of Grief by Nagash, and tasked with afflicting the mortal world with the endless misery and sorrow, while her consort, Kurdos Valentine, plans the tactical aspects of their assaults. The Nighthaunt now fight with discipline and strategy, led by their lieges or their subordinate knights of shrouds. The particular character of a leader lends each host a distinct personality. Neil, thank you for the 5 gifted. Rage-filled spirits charge recklessly into melee, with more patient commanders might prefer devious traps or complex gathers. Thank you so much, Neil. People kept gifting whilst I was trying to read the narrative, Joe. It's quite hard to do.
Are they doing it because I went for a wee? They waited until I left and then did it?
I think so, maybe. Maybe. Spirits are influenced by the realms they rise from. The Quicksilver Dead possesses bodies of liquid metal shaped by the magic of Shaman. The realm of metal. Others are born from. Is it Shaman? Motherfucker.
Or maybe it's Hammon. Silent C.
Schooner.
Thank you. Oh, I was going to burp then. Thank you, Scooter, for 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you so much, Scooter. The realm of metal. Others are born from the wars that rack the mortal realms, where blood-soaked battlefields and endless, unrepentant murder gives rise to the Scarlet Doom, who claw their way through the pools of blood to exact a toll of vengeance from the living. Okay, battle traits. We'll read the battle traits, and I might also use the bathroom.
Yeah?
Too much water today. Nighthaunt are typified by their ethereal nature, which pays no heed to the sharpness of enemy weapons or the weight of their hammers. Even when attack comes that may break the spectral defences, they will simply discorporate and evade the blow. Sounds powerful, doesn't it?
Ooh.
Sounds very powerful. Hang on, where's my mouse gone? Where's my mouse gone, Jay?
I don't know, top.
I found it. Ethereal. Effect. Ignore all modifiers to save rolls, positive and threat negative, for friendly Nighthaunt units excluding Nagash. I'm going to ignore your rend altogether. Rend is meaningless against me.
That's good. I think they had that before.
They probably did.
Yeah.
You have a reaction for a CP. Opponent declared an attack ability used by a friendly Nighthaunt unit targeted by that attack. Has a 5-up, feel no pain. Award 5+ in AoS terms, 5-up, feel no pain. Thank you so much, Schooner, for 10 gifted, by the way. Shriek, once per turn, army your charge phase. They get a lot, don't they? Pick a friendly Nighthaunt unit that has not used the Aura of Dread ability this turn, that charges this turn to use its ability. Then pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of it to be the target. The number of models in the friendly Nighthaunt unit must be greater than the number of models in the target unit. Effect, subtract 1 from the hit rolls for the target attack for the rest of the turn. Not bad, not bad. Once per turn, the Wave of Terror. What is that? That's called Shriek. Where is Aura of Dread? Pick a friendly Nighthaunt unit that has not used an Aura of Dread ability. Oh, okay, so you can use this one or this one. You can't use both. Okay, that's why they've got the keyword in there. So once per turn, army your charge phase, Wave of Terror. Friendly Nighthaunt units that are in combat can use charge abilities this phase. However, if a unit that is in combat uses a charge ability and the charge roll is a 3 or less, that unit does not count as having charged. In combat, you can charge.
What, so you charge through a unit?
I hope so. Pick a friendly, so once per turn ability, your charge phase. Lots going on in your charge phase here, chat, right? This is another Aura of Dread ability. Pick a friendly Nighthaunt War Machine or Cavalry unit that has not used an Aura of Dread ability this turn and that charges this turn to use its ability. Then pick one enemy unit within 1 inch to be the target. Subtract 1 from save rolls made for the target for the rest of the turn. So you can get -1 from their attacks, but you can also give them -1 to their save, but you can't use both, right? Another Aura of Dread ability, once per turn, army, your charge phase. Pick a fucking hell. Pick a friendly Nighthaunt hero that has not used an Aura of Dread ability this turn and that had charged this turn to use his ability to pick an enemy unit within 1 inch. That target has the strike class for the rest of the turn. They've got lots of charge-based abilities.
Yeah. Sam Deakin says, should I be worried? A lot of the Bone Reaper units appear to be online only.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be worried.
Maybe it's because they're really fucking good. Games Workshop likes to do that, doesn't it? This is really good now. Online.
Yeah, I can't see them getting rid of a faction that basically came into existence because of AoS.
Yeah.
Even the Shoutist of Hearts is gripped by mortal fear when facing the Nagash's ghostly warriors, especially when they bear down in a wave of terror that incorporeal forms allow them to swoop in over and again, paralysing their prey with a haunting shriek while galloping cavalry stun lesser men. Those who lay eyes on the champions of Nighthaunt find themselves petrified by the terrifying malevolence. There is a load of nonsense words to just put in everything that's got a keyword up here. Petrify, stun, wave of terror, shriek. How can I get all of them into a sentence? Battle formations. Formations of Deathstalkers are expert hunters who use their ethereal gifts to swirl in and out of combat however suits them. They can ignore damage while retreating, helping them get constant use out of their charge abilities. They repeatedly paralyze soft-hearted foes and prove that there is no escape. The only issue I have here, Joe, right?
Yeah.
They can ignore damage while retreating, which we've just seen that Gloomspite can do, which you've also seen that Skaven can do. So the downside to retreating was that you take mortal damage. Apart from it seems at the moment that everyone's got someone that can ignore it.
Yeah.
It seems to be a lot. I mean, maybe it's just because the faction focus is, but there's a lot of them saying, you know those mortals you take from retreating? Yeah, you don't anymore.
How can they be stalkers when they've got to carry those massive piggy banks around? Those big weights.
Deathstalkers. There is no escape effect. Friendly Nighthaunt units can use charge abilities even if they used a run or retreat ability in the same turn. In addition, no mortal damage is inflicted on friendly Nighthaunt units by retreat abilities.
They can fall back and charge, basically. That's good.
Yeah, fall back and charge with no penalty at all. Other battle formations let you transport entire units of spirits across the battlefield with the Vanishing Phantasms, or enlist the Hunters of the Accursed to sap the souls from enemy heroes with your own champions. Should you prefer to cluster your geists around the chilling aura of a black coach, the Procession of Death uses malign magic to bolster their durability. I've got a black coach at home that I started building. What a fucking model. Each faction pack also has 3 heroic traits and 3 artifacts of power, say warlord traits and relics, to choose from. These can be taken by any hero, adding extra layers of flexibility and tactical choice to your list building. Nighthaunt wizards invoke the law of the underworlds to draw chilling magics from Shaiish, and while they're naturally suited to stripping away life force with a quick spirit drain, they can also aid their allies by conjuring a shrouding cloud of shade mist around their advance. Law of the Underworlds. Casting value of 6, so lower than what we saw for Gloomspite. Pick a friendly Nighthaunt wizard that casts a spell. Pick a friendly Nighthaunt unit that has 3 or more models and was wholly within 12 inches of the target. Make a casting value 2d6. Subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target the unit until the start of your next turn. Subtract 1 from wound is good.
Yeah, strong.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like on a pretty shitty unit that's only got like wound.
Pretty
wound
shitty
3,
city.
wound, like a wound of a 4 up or a 5 up. Because there's like, oh, I'm wounding on like 5s and 6s now.
Yeah,
Not
I like
good.
it. The requirement to target a unit with more than 3 models means you won't be able to shore up your largest leaders and elite entities, but that will be of little comfort to your opponent when huge reinforced swarms of train rasps shrug off blades and missiles like rainwater. Unit focus. This model, what a model. When a particularly vile transgression against Nagash requires the personal touch of his Mortarks to extinguish, Lady Alinda leads her procession from the front in a bow wave of suffocating sadness and tragedy. She is a powerful warrior mage in her own right, the result of the great necromancer's cruel experiments on how much misery he could stuff into a single soul, and always takes the field with an entourage of wailing handmaidens in tow. Right? Crit auto wound, crit auto wound, crit auto wound.
Oh, wow.
What that means is, Jack, critical hit rolls, which are naturally on 6s, auto wound.
Yeah.
You don't roll a wound, okay? And there's 3 damage, D6 damage, D3 damage, 1 damage, 3 rend, 1 rend. Okay, I'm into it. Looks decent. No rest for the record. Declare, pick a number of friendly Nighthaunt units on the battlefield to be the targets. For each target, you can return a number of slain models to that unit with a combined health characteristic of... what? Pick any number of friendly Nighthaunt units on the battlefield to be the target. For each target, you can return a number of slain models to that unit with a combined health characteristic of up to D3 plus 3.
That's strong.
I feel like, is that me or is that crazy good?
I mean, a lot of your units are probably 1 or 2 wounds. So on your little chain raspy units, like...
Getting 4 models back, minimum.
Potentially, yeah.
That's really good.
It's really strong. But like I can't
really
imagine that
good.
they're survivable, but not massively survivable.
Passive, Mortark of Grief. Subtract 3 from the control scores when units while they're within 12 inches of her. That's really good. Grief-stricken, casting value of 6. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18 inches. Ignore positive modifiers to hit rolls, wound rolls, and save rolls to the target for the rest of the turn.
Nice.
Oh, Joe, she seems...
What's her save? She's got a 4-up ward as well.
She's got a 4-up save that can't be modified and a 4-up feel no pain. That's...
She's strong.
She's tasty.
Very good.
Oh, it's once per battle. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not so bad then. All right, okay. I'm glad Jappy Barra. I'm glad he said that. Her position as the Mortark of Grief is more than ceremonial. Her very presence terrifies mortal... Oh, fucking bore off. Right. Reichenhor the Grimhaler.
Reichenhor.
Yeah.
Not Reichenhor.
Reichenhor the Grimhaler. All right. The soaring execution known as Reichenhor the Grimhaler is one such paragon, freshly returned from the near destruction of... I'm going to start reading all this narrative shit because it's fucking dull. They don't really tell you anything. We'll have to skim it and see if there's anything interesting to talk about. So 12-inch move, 4+ save, 7 health, 2 control. Also, crit auto wound, crit auto wound.
Big gets +1 damage on the charge as well.
There's a theme happening here with the auto wounds, right? Fel Reaper, so 5 attacks hitting on 3, 6 is auto wound, wounding on 3s, rend 2, damage 3 on the charge is tasty.
Strong.
And then you've got, what's it named? Eddie's Teeth. Any hero phase, corpse candles. Pick either this unit or a visible enemy unit within 12 inches to be the target. Allocate 1 damage point to the target. If you picked an enemy unit, add 1 to the casting rolls for this unit for the rest of the turn. If you pick this unit for the rest of the turn, add 1 to casting rolls to this unit, add 1 to this unit's power level. Why would you... Oh, because you don't want to take your own damage. Okay, that's fine, okay. But I say, why would you ever pick an enemy unit? That's because you don't want to put damage on yourself.
Yeah.
Pick a visible enemy unit in your hero phase within 12 inches of this unit to be the target and make a casting roll of 2d6. 7. Inflict D3 mortal damage on the target. If any models are slain by this ability, inflicts an additional D3 mortal damage on the target. Eldar used to have a similar power in 40k.
Executioner.
Executioner. Take D3 mortal wounds. If you kill a model, take another D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it. I like that power a lot. I use it loads, actually. Grim Justice. In fact, add 1 to the hit rolls and wound rolls for attacks made with this unit's Fel Reaper if the target is a priest or a wizard.
Oh.
I'm into it. I like it. Wizard 1, Cavalry Fry, Ward 6+. Reichenhor is a potent wizard. Cool. And here's loads more stuff that just tells you...
find that the blurb underneath it
is bollocks.
It basically just explains what already happened above.
Yeah, you read the data sheet, and then all it does is it takes all the keywords and puts it into a fucking paragraph.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. Dread Blade Harrows are grim lieutenants raised from the souls of those who served a general or warlord who would later become a Knight of Shrouds. Dread Blade Harrows. 12-inch move, health 3, 4+, crit auto wound. I think everything's got the crit auto wound by the looks of it at the moment.
Basically, Crit auto wound is essentially lethal hits.
It's 40k lethal hits, by the way, chat. Yeah, absolutely.
4 attacks each. Oof.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Hit on 4s, not so good, but auto with lethals. Wounding on 3s, Ren 1 damage 2 is tasty. You've got a passive, which means it's always active. If the unit charged this turn, add 3 to the control score for any Nighthaunt units while they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit, including this one, by the way.
I'm assuming that's after you add all that. So if they're the unit control of a model is 1, and there's 5 of them, it comes to 5, and then you add 3?
No, the unit control of the unit is 1, I think, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it based on a model per model, or is it based on the unit as a whole?
I don't remember 100%, but I'm pretty sure when we did our demo day, we asked that exact question. They said no, it's just the unit. It's so much easier then to add it all up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe they've also put in an article. If you remember, let us know. Phantasmal Discorporation. I mean, you're probably looking up rules because you're not fucking gifting memberships. Remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from enemy units. So you can uppy downy.
Yeah.
In any movement phase. Any movement phase, Jay. I can uppy downy in your turn.
Oh, wow.
Which is also important when you think about 2CP countercharge.
Any movement phase.
So I can uppy downy in your movement phase and 2CP countercharge.
That's crazy.
We've got we've got varying replies so far in chat. So cavalry fly ward 6+. We don't need to read that because we've just read it basically. There is little Nagash enjoys more than inflicting ironic punishments upon those who wronged him. The Banshees, who saw ever greater magical power without paying proper respects, this manifests as a yawning hunger for all things arcane. Move 8. They got a lot of movement, lots more crit auto wound, D3 damage, 2 rend, decent, with a chill dagger. Opponent declared a spell ability. If a friendly Nighthaunt unit wholly within 12 inches of the unit was picked as a target of the spell, this unit can use the Unbind ability as if it had a Wizard 1. If a friendly Nighthaunt unit wholly within 12 inches of the unit was picked as a target, okay. Add 1 to the binding roll for that ability. If the spell is unbound, inflict D3 mortal damage on the caster. So I can unbind your spell and cause you damage.
Great models as well.
They are cool, aren't they?
You know what I find mad, right, is in the early days of... So what was this box set? This was box set 2, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
So the Ghosts. I'm pretty sure it was the second edition.
She is stunning.
Bought the Ghosts in. Is that a vast amount of the Nighthaunt range all had custom bases. Like if you go up to the Banshee guys, they all had stunning bases.
But I think they kind of had to though.
Yeah, and then because a lot of it was push fit, and then Reikenor came with it. His little bodyguards all came with their own custom bases. I kind of wish they'd carried that on. Yeah,
I think some of it they had to just to get the poses right though.
I know, but I feel like AoS as a whole could have done with.
Yeah, I agree.
With more
agree.
More fancy bases.
Good old Jimbo's back. The army has a lot of access to debuff abilities which can severely neuter the enemy's combat prowess, like Dreadsize Harridans who lower wound rolls against them when charging into the fray. This keeps their somewhat fragile units intact and charging often, something the army wants to do at every opportunity. Some units have had fairly significant tweaks, like the Dreadblade Harrows, who now come as a unit rather than an individual hero. Their Phantasmal Discorporation ability still allows them to be almost anywhere on the battlefield when you need them most, which is especially useful now that their Curse of Loyalty ability boosts the control score of nearby Nighthaunt after a charge, letting you muscle key objectives away from enemies when they least expect it.
Adam Johnson says, these Ghost Right horses and Banshees look stunning. What comes in the spearhead of these guys?
I'm glad you asked Adam.
Yeah.
This.
There's that beautiful terrain kit. They don't sell anymore.
Yeah, okay.
I fucking love that terrain kit as well.
This is their... I mean, I don't feel like their paint job's done a good job here of really showing off this box set. But it's a pretty box set anyway.
That guy's got a massive bell.
Which
Imagine
one?
being hit by that.
Him in the back here?
Yeah. Everyone's got a scythe. He's like, I'm going to club him to death with a bell.
Have we done 32 members, Joe? Is that what we've done?
33.
33, is that it?
Yeah. They're all busy working, aren't they? That's why they're working, lurking crew.
Like the full size.
This is why all the other channels stopped doing AoS.
It might. I mean, it might actually be.
Yeah.
This one never does well.
Yeah.
Like the full-size Nighthaunt faction, the slasher hosts want to be charging at every possible moment using their overwhelming numbers in the Wave of Terror battle trait. Blah 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 blah. Okay, slasher host, Wave of Terror.
Slasher.
Right? Slasher. Hardly know. Any charge phase, pick a friendly unit to use this ability. If it charges this phase and charge roll was 10 plus, then pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of it to be the target. The target has to strike last this turn. That feels like that's a high bar that they've set there for this to work.
Yeah, but it's strong.
It is strong. That's a very high bar.
It's right because you think any charge phase, and you'll get
It's not any charge phase, though, is it? Because this one has to have charged. I guess if you use the counter charge, okay, all right, yeah,
strong.
It's all right.
It means it might go off once or twice, but
they still have ethereal at least, which is the same as their big boy rolls. So you can ignore all the rends, which is kind of cool, right? As if 2 of 10 chain wraths weren't enough to control the board, they also have the reinforcements keywords. They can return right back to the battlefield after death. This gives you free reign to throw them into the front lines to cover for your Grimghast Reapers and Spirit Hosts. And if they're chopping through your Spectres a little too quickly, you can always cripple their swordsmanship with the Chorus of Terror Regiment ability. Right, so you've got some swords. Crit auto wounds are in the Spearhead as well. And then you have pick a friendly unit, holy with the nitrogen unit to be the target. Until the start of your next turn, the unit has a ward 5+. A way of getting hold of 5+, feel no pains.
This army is a beautiful army. I do worry about they're quite spindly, aren't they? You have to be very gentle with them.
They're not one I would want to travel unless I magnetise them to some sort of carry case.
Yeah.
There we go. There we have it. We have... Boop. That was Nighthaunt. For me personally, my only issue with Nighthaunt is that their model range is minimalistic. Because in terms of rules, their rules really sing to me.
Can you go to the Games Expo website and have a look at their range?
Oh, Joe, I want to go to the fucking toilet.
I know, but we've only got like 11 minutes.
What? Are you... Oh my God, 11 minutes and 33 members. Chat fucking hates us today, Joe.
Yeah.
It must be because you're here on the Liam and No Joe show.
Oh.
I'm going to show you this.
Are we going to show it to the people?
Yes. There you go. There's a mouse, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go and use the bathroom myself with all this healthy drinking that I'm doing.
All right, then.
I don't think I'm going to
get to use the moose.
I don't think I'm going to get my Land Rover Defender.
I don't think it's as bad as you think it is, right?
What, the model range?
Yeah, in terms of what they get. Because you've got to think about what goes into an army, right? Realistically. You're not going to get loads and loads and loads and loads, because you think your core troops are the little chain raspy dudes. So you're probably going to have about anywhere between 20 and 40 of them. And then the little scythe people and a couple of these. So you're like, that's like the majority of your army. And then you've got the fancy characters, the Scriptor Mortis, he's cool. Thank you, Sean Williams, for the 1 gifted membership. Love you long time. And then you've got the characters that came in the starter box set. So you might get those in. And then you've got Cool Boatman. They're really well endowed when it comes to named character models. And they're proper funky. You've got some rain stuff, so you probably might get a unit of like 10 of those, so 2 of those in there, and then more fancy characters. And then these come in the starter box set, and you've got Bellman lurking around in there somewhere. But like in terms of your core infantry, you're not going to get much. But the same thing is like for Space Marines, or if you look at Cities of Sigmar, their range isn't massively well endowed in terms of the amount of models. But the stuff that gives this army the flavour is exceptional. The Black Coach is a great centerpiece model, so I think you're probably going to get one of those in your army. And then, the only downside is the Dread Harrow Blades come as a unit of 2, which is a bit bum. But it's only 17 quid for 2 character style models.
Not only do they come as a unit of 2, Joe, but they're also push fit.
Yeah, and then
so there's not a lot you can do in order to kind of modify them.
Ryan Knorr, and then you've got more of these guys. I was saying, because it's a horde-based army of ghosts, they're not going to be a massive amount of variety.
Did we get one more gift, and that was it?
Yeah. But their character range is incredible.
The AoS audience doesn't like to spend any money, does it?
I think that's... Elekman, I know it comes as a 5, but you'll probably bump it up to 10. You'll probably reinforce it to 10. The cool guys with the crossbows, Liam.
Yeah, I've got I've got 2 boxes of
They're
those, I think.
cool, they are. Look at that banner. Oh, it's a sexy banner.
Mate, the model range is gorgeous. I just wish there was a bit more. Like if the Grimgrass Reapers are just 2 to a box, I'd rather have
2?
Not the Grimgrass Reapers. Sorry, go up. The Dreadblade Harrows. That's the one. The 2 to a box, and I would rather have like.
I feel like that should have been a 3-man unit.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
If it was a 3-man unit, it's a bit better in terms of what you get. Bump it up to by like £6.
Yeah, 100%.
And same with here, the Crawlock the Jailer. He's
cool kit.
Waving his arms around like he just don't care.
Yeah.
You got the Glaive Brave Stalkers. I'm pretty sure these were a Shadespire team.
I don't know.
The little doggy dudes. Doggy.
I didn't see the War Scroll.
They were a Shadespire team as well.
They're cool though.
They're stunning models. Look at that, £12 for a model from Games Workshop. Would you believe it?
Well, look at that left one. £12 for 4 models from Games
I know.
Workshop.
That seems like more of a rip-off now, if those are only...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then they're nice, Spirit Hosts, but he's a beautiful model.
I know, I've got him at home.
Yeah. And her, Tomb Banshee. That's mental, right? Tomb Banshee, £12.
Still shown as a square base as well.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
When you get 4 of them for £12.
You could just use them as Team Banshees, couldn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how I feel about these guys, by the way.
The Dread Scythe Harridans.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Screamy Face.
They're like a weird ghost Tyrannid.
They're like a weird... I find that they're very kind of that hammer, like the 80s horror style ghosty peoples with Screamy Face. And then you've got those really terrible old... They just don't fit the range at all.
No, I'm hoping they're just going to replace them. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'd like to see an update.
New
in
Hex
them.
Wraiths.
Yeah,
Would be cool.
because they're a dual kit for the Soulblight Gravelords. And that kit is also terrible.
Yeah.
I'd like to see an update. But I think you've got loads of stuff. Loads. 25.
That's
Well,
not a lot.
24. That's more than shop. Oh,
Look at you go.
I know. And then I'll go to order.
Order.
If you go to Cities of Sigmar,
47.
47, right?
So nearly double, Joe.
No.
You-
No, because let's be honest, people that do Cities of Sigmar ain't using these
Why wouldn't you?
because
They're
they're
fucking
old,
cool
terrible
kits.
models.
Cool kits. Still cool kits. They're not terrible models. As a man who's just been building fucking old world Bretonians, you can't say that stuff is terrible models.
No. But if you go by just the new kits, right? Because my Cities of Sigmar army is only going to be new kits. There's much less.
Yeah, but
So
that's
1,
a you
2,
just that's a
3,
you choice.
4,
That's not
5,
about number of
6,
kits
7.
available to you.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so Cities of Sigmar only got 12.
But that's a bollocks argument because you're just picking the stuff that you want to have rather than what's actually available to you, which says 47 items.
I reckon all the other stuff's going to have terrible rules. All right, then, what other army should we use an example?
Stormcast.
No, it's a terrible example. All right, we'll go Destruction. And then we'll go... What's Gloomspite Gitz packing these days? Come on.
33.
They've
More
only
again.
got 33. But
More
they've
again.
got a lot of old models.
Eight more options. It's going well so far.
But you're looking at ranges that are still using old world kits.
I just said the amount of models available to them. That's what I said. I didn't say all new kits, did I?
All right then.
8 more. Fire Slash is the one that might do it, Crumpets, Banners, Bows. You can't fuck off.
8.
When a model is like 400 points each.
Right. And King Brodder's a model. Gatecreeper Mega Gargant.
Why
It's also the same as the Kraken Eagle Gargant. They've only got 3 real box sets.
Yeah. Like Imperial Knights, though, they don't count.
They do. Oh, I've rolled that up. Why is that going on?
I wouldn't worry, nothing's happening in chat, so you're not going to see any roll
and
out.
then what else is there?
Fire Slayers is the only one with an actual proper range that I'd be concerned about being less.
Order. Idnef Deepkin.
Probably more.
Doors okay? Are you sure?
Oh, okay, I'm surprised.
17.
I'm surprised.
17.
That's less than I thought they had.
Yeah. Like, the new model ranges for Age of Sigmar aren't massive. But that's what makes I think what makes them almost better than 40k.
I've come off that now.
Why?
Because they don't need to keep seeing now, do they? You've proved your point.
I have proved my point. Where should we go? Fire Slayers. 16.
Yeah.
But they're doubling up on kits, aren't they?
Yeah, well, a lot of them. I mean, some of the I think some of the Nighthaunt do that as well. So OBI only has 19. Yeah, there you go. So, but I don't feel like Gloomspite was the right choice there, or Cities of Sigmar that you were whinging about.
Cities of Sigmar, in terms of new kits, doesn't have many
Granted,
because it uses all the old.
but that wasn't what I said.
I reckon all the old stuff will slowly
Yeah, I absolutely think they'll get rid of it.
just trudge off.
But are they bringing Empire into Old World?
Empire is in Old World, yeah.
Yeah, so I reckon they'll start to move across because they'll want to continue to segregate model ranges and make sure that they're only available for individual systems, so that you can't multi-purpose kits, and therefore, I guess it's because their reporting numbers are then clearer as to which game systems are performing better. The only obvious time that doesn't happen is when it's a £100 Imperial Knight kit.
Yeah.
That they're going to sell loads of anyway. So
Yeah. Are you saying that Games Workshop endorses segregation?
stop.
There's your little mouse. There you go.
My little mouse.
I like the limited ranges for the factions.
I reckon if every faction had 35 to 40 kits available in total, characters including, that's a nice place to be. Like, for reference, Stormcast have a ridiculous number of kits available.
Yeah, but what about dual kits?
Yeah, so they would count within that.
Yeah.
Within that 35 to 40, yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, if you take into consideration dual kits for like core troop choices, etc., you're probably actually talking about 30 kits, maybe.
Yeah, but if you're looking 30 kits over, or 30 unit options over, what is it, like 16, 17 factions?
Oh, they'll take a while to get there.
I know, but also like you're then looking at a massive, you're doubling the level of effort required for balance.
So they can keep working there, can't they? They've got this so right, and then we need to throw some curveballs.
Yeah, but it's better. I think it's best now. The balance is best now because there aren't so many. You've got in like Space Marine range or something like, what is it, like 100 data sheets, and so many of them just do the same thing. Like, it's mad. Madness. What are you doing? Why are you scrolling up to the top? He's going into the shop.
Would you agree they've got the Stormcast balance right from what we've seen so far?
There's only 41 in there.
Yeah, so what did I say for model ranges? 35 to 40.
Yeah, but how many of those are single model characters?
I don't know if there's as many now because they not removed all the ones.
They can't see what you're doing. They're just watching you scroll up and down.
Me. There's a few, not millions.
Also, don't forget, a large chunk of these are all disappearing.
I think their range is being somewhere between 30 and 40 is actually quite reasonable.
Yeah, but you've got a lot of units that do the same thing. You've got like Liberators with spears and Liberators with hammers and.
Well, no, because they've specifically stated that they've made sure every unit has its own individual purpose in 4th edition Age of Sigmar.
I reckon they could have gone, we could drop 10 of these and the army would function a lot better.
Yeah, which I'm not arguing that it might function the same or function better. What I'm saying is one of the things that I grew to start hating in 40k in general with tournaments, the tournament scene is obviously worse for this than anywhere else.
Yeah.
And the tournament scene, obviously it becomes an absolute amplification of the issue. It's like, oh, I'm playing I don't know, let's say for sake of argument, I'm playing a Necron player or I'm playing a Space Marine player.
Yeah.
Right? And you walk up to the table, and this isn't the list. This is just me going to say something random, so don't go, that never happened, Liam. This is just as an example. Oh, I'm playing a Space Marine player today. Cool, I'm playing Salamanders. What have you got? I've got Eradicators, I've got Blade Guard, and I've got blah, and it's just the same shit, right? Cool, okay, brilliant. And you walk up to the next table, what have you got? Well, I've brought Iron Hands. What have you got? I've got Eradicators, I've got Blade Guard. You're like, cool, every single Space Marine army looks exactly the same. And what I like about ranges in general having a bigger range and I'm not saying we need to be in a position where you can get all 40 of those kits into 2,000 points of an army. I like the idea that I can come up against 3 different Nighthaunt players, or 3 different Stormcast players, or 3 different Cities players, and actually each time face a different army.
But the problem is that you every unit in that book has to be a good choice.
Right.
Right. And I don't think Games Workshop has that capability.
Maybe.
If you AoS excluded, in 40k, they don't have that ability. Because there's a lot of
Okay,
if
so
you
you're,
look
saying,
at a lot
so
of
you're saying Games Workshop does have that capability, but you're saying the 40k team hasn't showcased that.
No, because there's too much. There's too much stuff in that book. In the books, there's too much. Like it's easier to do it with Harlequins, for instance, because there's not many options.
But it's not then, because you've got all the same models. Like, it makes it harder to do it with Harlequins because you've got all the same models. So there is a sweet spot to be found. Maybe 30 to 40 isn't it, but there is a sweet spot to be found where you have enough kits that you get different looking armies on the tabletop from player to player, playing the same factions, but not so many kits that it's impossible to balance it and get it right.
Well, maybe that's what the detachment situation is. The detachments need to be better then, right? So
I think I do it in 40k. You're saying
in 40k.
I think I already agree with that statement anyway.
Because the detachments are good but not bad. So you go, what's good in the White Scars detachment? Everything's got advance and charge. So you go, bikes aren't that good because bikes can't pass through walls. So you go, well, that leaves Assault Marines, Blade Guard, Terminators.
Yeah, oh no, absolutely.
Right? And then you go, cool, we're going to take an army that makes everything much tougher. Well, what's better than that? Blade Guard, Assault Marines, Terminators.
No, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, there's a ton of work, I think, to be done to make sure armies are varied. I'd like Nighthaunt to have 3, 4, 5 more options. Because even if you think about it, those 25 options that they had, one of those is Nagash, who I don't know if he still is, but was an 800-point character. So he's almost one of those where you either take him or you don't, and if you don't take him, you've got to take it down to 24 choices.
What I think Games Workshop needs to enforce then is put more limitations on the detachments. So Sam has proposed detachments give benefits to certain keywords. Wow, that was hard. But the problem is they did it really well in the Tyranid book, and then just threw it out the fucking window for the rest of them.
100%.
Whereas I think if they're not going to do that, they limit what goes in the detachment, much similar to what they have in Heresy.
Yep.
So, like for instance, as you use the White Scars as an example, everything can advance and charge. Right, but you go, cool. If it doesn't have fly or is not mounted, it must be in a transport.
That's okay. That's an interesting type of restriction.
Yeah.
To try and make it feel narratively like White Scars.
Yeah.
But then at that point, do you potentially just go, well, no, I've just murdered the detachment. No one's going to take it now because I don't want to invest in loads of transports.
Well, yeah, but you go, well, I like Assault Marines. Like having Assault Marines advance and charge is really good. Bikes are narratively White Scars because you take that detachment because you want to run a fast-moving bike army. An Iron Hands player is not going to take it. An Iron Hands detachment goes, okay, you could take dreadnoughts, you could take walkers, tanks, and must be in Gravis.
But even
armor.
then, right? So do you think people really probably actually do want to take fast-moving bike armies? I would suggest that the answer to that overall question is yes, people really want to take fast-moving bike armies. So what models are available to you?
Outriders. Chaplain on a bike.
So 3 push-fit models and a chaplain on a bike is your options for fast-moving bike armies. And so we'll go back to the problem being the model range.
Yeah. All they have to do is just give a multi-part kit.
No, they absolutely do.
Yeah.
So the problem there is the model range. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you that they need better bike models, for example.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily need multiple data sheets for bike models. They need better bike models. So they need Outriders to not be a push fit kit. And perhaps if they hadn't made them a push fit kit, they could have also done things like, here's an easy way to convert them into Black Knights. Here's an easy way to convert them into Ravenwing Bikers rather than just a back banner, right? So we're back to the model range is the problem there.
Yeah.
Because why don't people want to make bike armies? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Obviously you've said it yourself, bikes don't go through ruins to start with, where currently infantry can seem to teleport through everything. I actually feel like on Thursday, that game we played, where we used the terrain from boarding actions, and we went, you know what, you can't move any through any part of this terrain, you can only use doors. That just flat made it a better game.
So you can't do an AoS.
What?
Move through walls.
But didn't it not? I felt like it just made it a better game.
Oh, it
genuinely.
made it so much better.
Because you actually because at the moment, if you play infantry, I just ignore all the terrain, crack on.
Yeah.
Terrain makes a difference. It makes a difference for live side for shooting, but especially for combat-based armies, right? Then it means that for combat-based armies, it's like I don't give a fuck. I hide behind terrain so you can't shoot me. I just phase through it.
It was one of the best things about boarding actions, and it was like boarding actions was a great game until you figured it out.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
And that was, I know we upset the person that made boarding actions because he was like, "Oh, I love that you really love it. I'm a big fan." And then
we shat on it,
and he got really sad. But
he did.
And that makes me sad that we upset him. But I think it's like if I imagine if Games Workshop had given them more time, and resources to develop the game, it would be great. There's a reason why Horus Heresy players fucking love Zone Mortalis.
And if they didn't have to try and get it out the door in fucking 3 months to get everything out the door.
Yeah. But then they segregated everything over
Adam
huge
says,
portions of time.
Adam, by the way, I agree with you more than you know. So because I 100% think you're right. He says the death of Force Organisation chart is the issue, not the amount of kits.
Yeah.
I absolutely 100% couldn't agree more with you. But Games Workshop aren't a particular entity that commonplace says, we fucked up, we're going to reverse this decision. It just doesn't happen. So I think at this point, we have to accept the fact that Force Org charts in 40k at the moment at least isn't coming back. And it makes me sad. I think Force Organisation charts are better. If you look at the announcement that was made in 40k, for those of you that are 40k people, around the new mission pack that's coming out in the near future.
Well, it's coming out.
Nexus.
Well, it goes on pre-order on Saturday.
Is that what? Have they put that on Warcom on Sunday?
On Sunday, Warcom, it goes on pre-order.
So
also, objective markers. You can go to the article, show them, show the people.
No. Also, so if you consider it's GW, they're not going. And you look at that new pack that they're bringing out. They've basically gone. Here's loads of reasons to bring Battle Line, and that's them. I think that's them almost. My personal opinion is that's them almost going, oh fuck. The lack of Force Org chart has caused a problem. No one's taking Battle Line. Armies don't really look like armies anymore. How do we change this? And so what we'll do is we'll put a heavy focus on Battle Line units.
Yeah, my only worry about the push on Battle Line is that not all Battle Lines are built equally.
No, I agree with you.
Obviously, I've got a bit of a big Tyranid hype on at the moment. The biggest issue with Tyranids is that Gene Stealers and Warriors are no longer Battle Line. So you're left with Gargoyles, Termagants, Hormagaunts, right? So you want them in 10-man units because they're smaller, can get around a table, can't be killed, to do your stuff. But to do actions and stuff, they have to go and stand somewhere. And if that place is in the open, they just die.
Yeah, very, very
right.
quickly.
Whereas you look at and if you just run pure swarm, like your opponent might struggle to kill it all, but then because your entire army is made of battle line things, they're too busy trying to kill and deal with your opponent to then do secondaries. Whereas you look at Orc Boys, right? You can fit 120 in under 1,000 points.
Yeah.
And those things are much harder to kill.
Yeah. And hit harder as well.
And hit way harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are well over time, and my garage is trying to phone me, probably about my car right now. So I need to talk to them. So we need to go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on the Liam and Joe AoS show. Still super excited for AoS. The rules say look cool.
Yeah.
Gloomspite feel like Gloomspite.
Our audience doesn't seem very excited for
Our
AoS.
audience aren't very excited about AoS at all, Joe.
No. But we'll just do it. We'll just do it off camera.
Hopefully they'll turn up this evening at the 40k show.
Yeah.
The start of the month is terrifying for a content creator because what happens is that revenue number on YouTube resets to 0. You're like, cool, we're starting again.
Yeah, full honesty with the people watching as well. It's like doing AoS is a nervous situation.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Because people don't like change.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like change, and a lot of other channels that have all tried to do AoS have given up very quickly.
Yeah.
They've invested a lot and then stopped.
Well, no, some of them just got other people to invest a lot and then stopped. Awkward. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like I say, I'm still excited for it at the moment, but we have another live game of Warhammer 40k tonight. It's Orcs for Brom versus Imperial Guard for Joe after Mataran. And I'm producing tonight, so I'll be hassling the shit out of you people all evening. Right, because like I said, it is so. Start of the month is nerve-wracking anyway, because the revenue number goes back to 0, and so I have to go. Well, at the moment at 0, I can't afford the studio and Joe's eating habits and Joe's drinking habits and Joe's keeping cool habits and Joe's toilet roll habits, and then the electricity, all the other things. So we have to get that number up before I get comfortable again. But at the same time, you're right. AoS content I'm also nervous about because it doesn't perform well at the moment. But I think we're growing. There's definitely some names in chat that I haven't seen before that have come because of AoS. So we'll keep plugging away. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Remember, this is additional content on top of our 40k content, which, like I said, we're back with tonight. Orcs versus Aston Retirum. We're back tomorrow night with the Warhammer show at 7:30. Thursday will be the Liam and Joe 40k show plus another game of 40k, which Eddie returns with his Necrons, and you're thinking about bringing Tyranids.
Yep.
And then we have 40k After Dark on Thursday at 8:30. There is no more chat play, Sam. We killed it because it felt like a beg, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
It died. It died. It was a bit dull. It was a bit all over the place. It felt a bit beggy. People were trying to spend £2 to make everyone stand on their heads. We killed chat plays. Chat plays doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully we'll see you people at 7:30 tonight. Thank you so much for watching, you wonderful human beings. Oh, hang on. I need to open my thing, don't I? Otherwise, I can't press it at the right time. We will see you in the next one.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.